Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar, where you'll find out about Abbey College Cambridge, our excellent academic provision, boarding provision, and also pastoral care. I'm Ellen Hesse, and I'm the principal at Abbey College Cambridge. And I have three delightful students with me who will share their experience, because fundamentally, Abbey College Cambridge is about students, and what they say matters. So first, I'll introduce Charles.
My name's Charles. I'm a Year 9 student at Abbey College Cambridge. I am the second generation of the Year 9s at Abbey College Cambridge, and I am currently studying the pre-GCSE course before we choose our options.
Yeah, thank you. Anita?
My name is Anita, and I'm in Year 13, and I'm studying biology, chemistry, and maths.
Perfect. And Ken?
My name is Ken, and I'm studying Year 10 right now, and I'm currently starting to do my Year 10, which is like the first year of the GCSE course.
Subjects? Which subjects?
I did English literature, and math, further math, geography, and also I think it's the last one. I think that's pretty much all. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much all.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So my first question will go to Charles. And if you can describe a typical day at Abbey College Cambridge.
So at Abbey College, we start at, well, for us at least, we start at 9. And we have form. So that's where we meet with our tutor, and he talks about how we are, how we feel. We can either do work or we can just talk and relax. And then the first subject starts around 9:25, and it's just depends on the day, but we'd either be in block A or block B, and we can either just talk or not talk, do lessons, sorry. And then breaks around 10:20, I believe. And we just go to, us personally, we go around the school, we just talk with our friends. Or sometimes when it's a sunny day, we sit outside in the courtyard and with our friends.
I see you a lot there, sitting in the courtyard, studying, talking.
Yeah, and then it's another lesson before lunch, after break, and then it's lunchtime, and then lunchtime we sit in the cafeteria. After our lunch, we normally just go back outside. And then we do, I believe, 3 more lessons before the end of the day. And then at the end of the day, it's just kind of like, you can either stay in the common room with chat with our friends, or we can go home. And on Wednesdays, it's enrichment, or compulsory enrichment. And it will replace the last 2 periods of the day. So I like enrichment personally because it's just a way of me relaxing, not relaxing, it's me just talking how I feel, because they're subjects I like doing, or topics I like doing. For example, I do debate club and media marketing, and I like relaxing because it's a relaxing club. Both of the clubs are very relaxing. So yeah, that's what we do in the day. And I think there's a lot of extracurricular activities as well after school. Like we have, for example, Homerton College and talks there, or it could be anywhere, to be honest, because the Abbey College does have a lot of like extracurriculars.
And we'll touch on it later.
Yeah.
I think, Charles, you mentioned sitting outside, either studying or talking to your friends. Anita, I know that I can also see you on picnic, benches there, studying, during the day. So how do students choose places where they want to study if they have a free period or after school?
Well, there's a lot of different places to study. It kind of just depends on what you like the most. So we first have the common room. That's a bit more relaxed. If you don't like a very kind of work environment and you want something a bit more chill, you can work there. I also like to work in the cafeteria a lot. It's quite empty, very open. So that's another place. We also have the library. This is very work focused. It's quiet. It's a controlled environment if that's what you like. We also have some empty classrooms that you can study in. So if you want to be able to study in an environment that feels like your lessons, you have that option. You can also study outside in the courtyard. They have benches with good Wi-Fi, so you can also connect to your iPad and still work there. So there's so many different places that you can study, and there's loads of options.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that I find some of our students studying in local cafes. Okay, yes. So our students are very resourceful where they go and where they study. But I think that's what I like, that students actually know instinctively what works for them. They have choices, and we don't dictate where they need to be to study. So it's really about choice and making sure that it fits in with what they like. Can you maybe reflect on differences between studying in the classroom and studying at home, or for you in the boarding house? So what are the differences?
Like in school, I feel like I'm more concentrated because like we are like in classes and also like I studying in library, which is like more like a workspace. But like when I go back to boarding house, because I'm like a person that who's easily distracted. But like boarding house, one thing really good is we got like prep every night. So it's a time for us to finish our like homework and then like or just do general revisions because we got like exams coming up. And then at that time, we could ask for like the house friends for any help or like the teachers that who's on duty for any helps that we need for our subject. So I felt that's like it's a good time for like revision and also like for my study. And also I still do study in my room as well. I got like like tutors from like online that like from like Guardian. So like I felt like they're both really good.
Yeah.
Also like the boarding house, there's a really good educational environment for me as well, so that I could focus on my work and then like get my work done.
And I will be on prep duty tomorrow, so
Yeah.
we'll see each other
Yeah.
there, working hard from 6:30 to 7:30. Now, let's talk about challenges, okay? Because we all have challenges. It doesn't matter where we are. So, what has been your biggest challenge at Abbey College Cambridge, and how have you overcome that challenge? Shall we start with Charles?
I think my biggest challenge was coming from my old school to this school and transitioning. But I think the process of coming here has made it very easy for me anyways, because we have such a small year group, and I think you can easily collaborate with people that you know. Like you get to know them very quick. Compared to my old school, there was I believe 200 people in my year, and the average class size is 33 people. So compared to here, where the year group is around 13 people, it's a lot more like of a family rather than a school, and it's much more easier to talk to people, and you don't have that same level of anxiety or stress because you know that they're everywhere and you can just talk to them. It's not like everyone's going to judge you because it's not as an environment. With the environment as well, it's also very calm and relaxed. It's not like my old school where there was uniform, there's all of these. The Abbey is very relaxed. It has no uniform. I think I really like that idea because it makes you feel at home, I think. And I think with the smaller year group as well, just blends in perfectly. And yeah.
And also being on first name terms, I think that's I feel quite special. You know, that you would call me Ellen, I call you Charles, you know, and I think it's about the partnership, you know, that we had. Anita, what about you?
I think one challenge that was trying to balance my whole like day-to-day life because I don't board at Abbey, so I have to travel a lot. But I think Abbey helps accommodate that quite well. You know, they offer breakfast and dinner. So I usually get here at 7 in the morning so I can have breakfast. And sometimes, like today, I finish quite late and I have the opportunity to have dinner. So I don't have to worry about making dinner when I get home. And there's a lot of revision sessions and extra work. So if I feel like I need that support, I have it there available for me. And I think that's one of the really nice things is that teachers as well are so willing to help.
Yeah.
I've had teachers offer free lessons during half term for my subjects for A levels, and that's really comforting to know that they care so much about your work that they're willing to do that for you, and it makes it so much easier to progress through the school and your studies.
Yeah, I think that commute is, you know, I know that it can be challenging. And when I start my run at 7, you are going to school, you know, so we are just meeting the opposite direction. But it's, you know, it's an early start for you. Thank you, Anita. Ken, what about you? The biggest challenge?
I think for me the biggest challenge is like getting away from home because like I'm from China and I'm boarding here. So like I think my biggest challenge is like getting away from like my environment back in China, like with all my parents and like people helping around me, and also like the culture that I'm used to. But like getting here, I need to get used to the culture here, and also like balancing my daily life because I'm a like a boarder. So I need to like get my routine in boarding house like every single day, and I need to take care of myself. And also I need to know like where should I go when I have like different things to do. Like I think for me it's just like knowing new people here and then getting used to the culture and then like just like getting used to the general environment. I think it took me like 2 months when I first came to the UK last year. Yeah, I think that's the biggest challenge.
Absolutely. And we have been joined by Kish, our year 12 students. So I will ask Kish to maybe squeeze in here a bit.
Okay.
Anita, maybe you can come closer. the more the happier. So we'll have more views.
We'll have to move
Will
the
you?
chair.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Now, I think we've already, when it comes to the academic support, Anita has also mentioned that teachers support you whenever you ask them. So there are formal support sessions, but also if students contact teachers and they say, I don't understand this one, or we run revision session, Easter and half term, where teachers invest time into helping students. It's that passion. Maybe Kish, if you can reflect on that working relationship between students and staff at Abbey College Cambridge.
I think I'd describe the working relationship between students and staff as being very supportive. They make sure that, if you have any questions, if you're finding something difficult, they're very quick to pick you back up and support you in any way that they can. There's a lot of resources available, such as support lessons, which can really pick you back up. And I think it's very fun as well. You can have a laugh with your teachers. You can genuinely create a very good relationship with them. So yeah.
And thinking about your teachers, yes, you've got some with a great sense of humor.
Yeah.
In your classes, I can see that it works perfectly well. Now, academic feedback. You know that if you want to improve, okay, somebody needs to tell you what and how. Okay, so what is your experience with academic feedback? Anita, shall we start with you?
So I think my teachers are very good at giving me academic feedback after every test. They go through it with us and they give us the opportunity to ask questions and go through it. And so so I have exams after half term. So academic feedback is super important. So right now, for example, in chemistry, I get a lot of feedback. Every single lesson we do revision, our teachers go through it, they check what we did wrong, and then they ask, do you need more support on that, or do you feel yourself that you're doing well in it?
Mm-hmm.
If not, they create more lessons during your free periods if you need extra help. And I think that's so helpful that you have so much time to build up and work on what you're struggling on. And the same way with support sessions. So we have support sessions in every subject. And that is an opportunity for where if you feel like you haven't covered something well enough in your subject, but you don't have the time for it, support sessions create that time so you can build up on it and create a strong foundation.
Absolutely. And especially in year 13, it's so important because you are entering probably the most important phase, in your life at secondary school. Keisha, how does that work for year 12s?
I think
With academic feedback.
I think academic feedback works with marking. There's a lot of marking that's being done, especially, for example, in my psychology class. My teacher marks as we do the work, and I think that's so helpful because it's very easy for us to go back and edit everything. So I think mainly in that way, that's how we pick up on feedback. I think tests as well, as Anita said, we always go through tests very regularly.
And also you have, if you can explain to our audience, when I look at your work, every work would have EBI and WWW. What is that?
So we basically have targets that we set for ourselves, and it's like an evaluation, basically. It's WWW is what went well, EBI is even better if, and it's basically a way of making sure that you know exactly what it is that you are doing well and what it is that you need to improve on. And then at the end of that, they basically allow us to set targets and we have to revisit that and make sure that we've met those targets.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And what does it look like for year 10s? At the beginning of their GCSE course, what type of academic feedback do you get? And does it help you, Ken?
Like for year 10, because for me, I'm doing 9 subject currently, and I'm with like the domestic class. So I feel like really pressure at the first, especially with my humanity classes, because like domestic class, we got like very much like essay-based homeworks and also like exam questions. Like, because I'm really struggle with that, and then like my teachers will help me like after the exams, after topic tests or homeworks, they're giving me like feedbacks, how should I improve my essays, and also tips of like how could I write it at like less, but like getting all the marks. So I found it really helpful, and then they will like support me outside of class as well. They will ask me if I need any more like exam questions or like practice questions that I would like to do. And also like they will help me mark it, even though it's not like the homework, but like my private work. They'll help me to like mark it and then give me some tips based on it. And also we got like something called like my progress page that I think like all of our like Abbey students have for every single subject. So we just know every like our marks from different exams there. And then we're gonna write EPI and WWW, and it's pretty helpful, I guess. So I could be like really clear about what should I do next step, and then like did I make like any improvements like after last time. So I think it's pretty helpful for me. It's like helping me to make a clear plan, I guess, like towards my next step. So I think it's really good.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. Now, Charles, you've listened to all of them, and you are year 9. So you're the youngest one.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the beginning of your journey at Abbey College Cambridge, does it resonate, or does the academic feedback look different for year 9s?
I think it's quite similar to Ken in year 10, because we don't have a lot of free periods. I don't think we have any free periods because our schedule's quite busy. But with feedback examples, we have my progress, and I occasionally use supporting learning as well. So my progress, whenever we do a test, we just what went well, even better if, and you can see your improvement. And I find it very helpful because it being all online, you don't have to see your improvement and your disimprovement from, because it's just there on the chart, right? So you can just see where you've improved and whether you've achieved your what went well and even better if target from last time. And I find that really helpful. And also with working that we do in lessons, I mean, in English especially, my teacher marks it every after our lessons, right? So when I'm home, I can review what he's marked and see the feedback he's given me for next time. And also, if I'm pretty good at a subject like English, for example, sometimes I've asked for extra work to do some extra topics, so I'm really keen on that topic. And I find it really helpful because my teacher listens to me, so he does give some to me, and then I write what I like, and then he gives me feedback on it, and I can see how that could relate into my exams. Because, for example, in English, he told me not to be too discursive because I was going off track. So in my exam that I did yesterday, I tried to stay on track. And I think that's really helpful. And also with supporting learning, if you're ahead of a subject, you can also try and get extra top information into your mind, because sometimes you're really good at a subject and you don't want to stay kind of behind the rest of the class. So whenever you're ahead, your teacher can give you some topics to revise in your free time, or you finished early in the lesson. And I find it really helpful because it just helps you get a better understanding of the topic, especially. And if you're behind, also, you can ask your teacher, you can message them saying you're stuck, and they will give you resources to help you pull that forward. So, yeah, I think that's the way.
And I think that's important, that stretch, okay, stretch and challenge for those who are really aiming high. But those people who need much more support, academic support, that support is there as well. Okay, so support and stretch. And now it would be useful actually to discuss university support. So, Anita, you are at the end of our support. However, we still support our students even when they left us. So 3 years after our students graduate, if they change their mind or they're on a gap year and then they want to apply, we are still supporting our students afterwards. But could you, Anita, share with our audience how you have been supported, and then we'll go on to Kish to explain what it looks like for year 12s that academics university support.
Yeah, so when I first started to apply for university, I was very nervous that I would mess something up, be like, this is a very big decision. There's a lot that could go wrong, there's a lot of information you have to give. And so we have UCAS advisors that you'd be assigned to, and they give you in detailed instructions to make sure that everything goes the way it should go. I've had zero problems with it. I've made no mistakes, and that's, really comforting to make sure that my university application is in good hands. And even once I applied to my universities, if my universities asked for something, or if I was unsure, my UCAS advisors are always there to help make sure that I make the best decision and that I do something that's correct. So that's really helpful. And Now I've picked my firm and insurance choice. Again, they walk you through every step to make sure you understand what you're doing, to make sure you understand what is what. I'm sure that a lot of students from abroad, the way you apply to university in England is different to how you apply abroad. So making sure that students understand what they are actually doing is super important. And I feel like I've been supported in that way. As well as that they give you lots of options and they keep asking you like, are you okay with what you're doing? You're making sure that you're on the right track. It's just so much support. It's really handy.
And also, I think the progression meetings every single term helps, okay? Because every university would have a different expectations or different criteria. So to make sure that students are on track. Or if they say, oh, I really want to study engineering, but then their weakness is in maths and physics, then there's another discussion to have with our students that, as you said, are you sure if this is what you want to do? Have you picked the right subjects? Because it doesn't look like
very reasonable with you, but also very respectful with your decision. Because at the end of the day, it's your university choice as
absolutely.
well.
So no, thank you. Kish, what about year 12?
So
have you started the process?
Yes, so I'm at the start of my UCAS journey, and I would say that prior to starting UCAS and looking for universities, I actually had absolutely no idea where I wanted to go, and that was very daunting and very scary for me because obviously I knew that I had time, but time goes very quickly. But now that I've finally started the process and I have a UCAS advisor who's very supportive, I actually feel I have more clarity about what I want out of a university, what I want out of my course, and I think I'm starting to finally form more clarity on what I want to do, and it's very supportive and it's very helpful for me. It was very scary not knowing at first.
Yes, thank you. And we know that into that personal statement, we need to put quite a lot of things about experiences, how you enriched, how you develop personally, but also that academic enrichment. So could you please reflect on Cambridge Art Classroom, so going to the evening lectures at the University of Cambridge, and also pre-degree diploma, and if you've done Oxbridge or medicine prep, what it looks like as well.
Yeah, so the Abbey very frequently advertises lectures which we can go to, and they're specialised in different areas for different people. So, medicine, law, politics, anything. And it's very helpful because it's good for networking as well. And it's something that's really beneficial to put on your personal statement. And also the pre-degree diploma, it really shows that you are interested in whatever it is that you want to do in university. That's why it's something that's very good to put on your personal statement as
and
well.
That's something that every year 12 student does. So it's a part of year 12 curriculum, pre-degree diploma, so research, collaborative research project.
Exactly, and I think because it's a research project, universities are going to look at that and think, wow, this person is interested in what they want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Charles, how have you benefited from evening lectures?
I think
a frequent speaker there as well who asks questions. So and Anita as well, actually.
With the lectures, they're tailored to interests, as Kish said, and I think they're very helpful because not only that you gain knowledge like on subjects that you like, so you can even apply them in lessons. It also, I find it to build my confidence when asking questions. It's very daunting. You're in front of a big audience of people you don't know. So just to go out there and ask a question, it kind of just builds your confidence and makes you, I think, stronger, for the next time that you ask a question. And it often becomes a habit because it's really nice to know something. And also, if you don't agree with something or want to know more, you can ask them directly. And the people that are running the lectures or talking to or hosting them, they're very interested in the subject that they're talking about. And they have lots of knowledge. So it's very a reliable piece of source to get information from. And with applying it into lessons, I think I went to a lecture about AI driving cars in London. And I think that's helped me apply the knowledge of how radar waves and sonar waves apply in physics, because I think you get to know more about how they work in real life examples, not just in the classroom. And I think it's beneficial for your confidence and also your knowledge. And so,
Yes. Thank you, Charles. And now let's move on to pastoral support. So you all look happy to me, pretty confident. Okay, you have lots of friends. You are progressing academically, so things are working. So can you reflect on that support that you get, not the academic support, because we've discussed academic support here, but maybe pastoral support. So who it is that keeps an eye on you, let's say on a daily basis, on how you feel, how things are going, or on your academic progress, your health, your general well-being. How does that work for you, each of you? Okay.
For me, for my daily life, I guess it's like my tutor, my housemaster, also like the boarding team, I guess. That's who support me every single day. And then like the boarding team every single day when you like after lessons you go back, they'll ask you like, is there anything happened today? And then is there anything that we could help you? And I think they're really supportive. Like nothing big happens to me, but like I felt like every single day when you go back, like the caring is gonna like make you feel really good. And also like it makes you feel like another family here, I guess.
Yeah.
So it makes me really relax after lessons. During lessons, my tutor gonna ask me like, is there anything pressured on you? And then do you need any help or any extra support? You could like tell them and they'll arrange a meeting for you. And also like any help that you need. So I think that's the people who supporting me. Yeah, when the problem is bigger, we go to find our like housemasters, but like nothing really big happens to me.
So if somebody, and I'm sure that probably you know other people, if there's a big problem, okay, that something really is troubling you, what are the next stages? What are the next layers of that pastoral support available to students?
After if something really big happens, we could go to find our housemaster, and then if they can't like help it, or like they need further, I don't know, like tell you maybe, and also like Carolyn, which is our vice principal, and we're gonna seek for help like for the school principals.
And also counselors then as well, okay, people who prefer counseling. Either we would recommend it, like, okay, I think this problem is too big, please speak to a professional, or students can self-refer, because you could also say, I want to speak to somebody privately, and then do that. Anita, what about you? What does that pastoral support?
So I've had a lot of support from my form tutor and housemaster. I think last year in year 12, I met kind of like a bump, and it was very stressful with all my like academics. So I reached out to one of my teachers, and they told my housemaster, and I had a meeting with my housemaster, and it was really, really helpful just being sit down and like talk to someone about how you're feeling and what's going on in your life. Being able to, have the opportunity to tell someone that makes you feel relaxed and feel like you're being supported by, people around you, which people definitely are. And even at the end of every form, my form tutor, she always, she asks, does anyone want to talk to me about anything personally? Just so we are given the opportunity if we feel like it. And as well as that, I also know people who maybe they weren't feeling that well themselves, and I've seen teachers and other staff see that in them and ask them personally rather than having them to reach out. They also have, I think it's a support down near the like matron as well. So that's
academic support.
And
with occupational therapists.
So that also helps students as well. It's like a mix of academics and pastoral at the same time. So, it's very handy for students who are facing a lot of stress or struggling, and it's really helpful.
Absolutely. And if we can now move on to extracurricular activities, you've touched on them very, very briefly. So if we can speak into great detail. Each of you, could you please tell me how you've engaged with our extracurricular program? I think we've mentioned Wednesdays as well, and there's the main one, from 2 to 4, but we have other opportunities in the evening or weekends. Or Kish, what about you?
So there's lots of opportunities to get into, the football team, badminton team. There's loads of sport that they offer out there. Personally, I actually haven't tried to join a team yet. So maybe that's something that I will look into. But I think enrichment is really the main one for me. I do debate and yoga, and debate is really good for me to do because it's very beneficial for your communication skills because it's so important in the workplace.
I agree.
And yoga is more to do with relaxation for me, and I think that's another way that you support students because it's so important to make sure that mentally and physically you're well.
Yeah,
So
balance, absolutely, because I think otherwise everybody will experience stress, during their studies because that's life. But how you deal with it, what other support mechanisms there are to support our students with balancing it out with something that is fun, like debating for you and yoga. Charles, what about you? What extracurricular activities have you done?
On Wednesday enrichment, I do debate club as well and media.
So we are debating together, right?
Debate club, as Kish said, it's just you can let out your week, go assign a topic, and we have to speak about it, opposition, and it builds confidence as well because you're speaking to people who are your friends, but also topics you're not quite sure about. So it's quite nerve-wracking to talk about a topic that sometimes you're not sure about, but you just have to go along the grasp of it. And media marketing, we do produce sometimes media for the school, and it helps our collaboration skills. We talk together. And also when we're going out to interview people in the school, it kind of helps our journalism skills because it now helps us talk to people easily, but also be able to take notes of what these people are saying, and then we can go back to media marketing and create something out of it.
And I know that I've got an appointment with you booked.
Yeah.
I'm going to be interviewed, so it'll be the other way around.
Yeah.
As a journalist, Charles, the journalist, will come to interview me.
And with the extracurricular activities, I personally don't do many because I am a domestic student and I live far away, so it's quite a hassle to come to school. But they do lots of weekend activities as well. My friend, she attends tennis on the weekends, and she says for her it's really good for her beneficial mental health as well. She gets some fresh air on the weekend and she gets to talk to her friends. And I think the extracurricular activities are amazing, and I would definitely love to attend them, but it's just a situation that is really hard.
You need to commute up. You need to catch a train and
Yeah.
get themselves home and then do things at home. So that commute sometimes, doesn't work. You can still stay till late in the evening, but it's not always possible every single day. It's just what's manageable-ish for you as well. So the only boarder who can answer questions about what's on the offer in the evening and at weekends. So can you share with our audience boarders who would like to know?
Yeah, so like in the boarding house, every night we got boarding activities that we could do. But like I'm not a person who would really do like the boarding activities, but like I'm quite a sporty person. Yeah, I joined basketball team and volleyball team because I'm a really like volleyball person. I'm a volleyball player since like when I was 14, I guess, or 13. So I found really interesting when I found that Abbey College Cambridge have a volleyball team as well. And I just joined. I found it really nice because when I first came there, that was the place that I met my first few friends. It's like a sports team, everybody's really collaborates, and then like it's really good. And we also play with other schools like every Sunday. But now I think we're doing like a monthly match, something like that. It's really good. It's every Sunday, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And then we got basketball as well. We got like two basketball sessions. One is for like the team training. One is for like you could play for fun. I'm not a really like basketball player, so I go to like the playing one. So I go out with my friends. So we got like a sporty time that like outside of education, not really good, and also like it could get my like health and well-being better as well outside of education. So I think it's really good. And then you got like loads of choice like in the boarding activities. You could do like origami or painting or drawing, like anything like that you could sit down and talk to your house parents and then also with your friends, like getting a relaxing good time, I guess, downstairs. Yeah, it's really good.
Absolutely, and I think that's what I like, that everybody can find something. Creative activities, sporty activities, social, just making dumplings or cooking, whatever they are cooking. When our Nigerian students are cooking and putting their spices into their food, and then you just observe it, and it's great, but fun as well. And what about the whole school events here? Because we also have the whole school events. And actually the image that comes to my mind in you singing karaoke, there was a group of you, and I love that picture. I have it. It's because they are year 13s, they are year 12s, they are year 9s, you know, and what a great picture, you know, of you singing. So what kind of event was that?
I think that was during Culture Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have, you know what, honestly, I love the whole school events that we have. We had Culture Day, and that was really good. It definitely gave everybody a chance to express themselves and to represent their own countries. And also, when we have whole school events, everyone comes together as a community.
Yeah.
It's not like the year 12s are just with the year 12s, the year 9s are just with the year 9s, which is really special.
What else do we have? Around Christmas, we have
Yes.
Christmas lunch.
Welcome to the UK.
Welcome to the UK event is there. We also have Ramadan, sort of when we support students when they finally have New Year, Iranian New Year, Nowruz. We have a Chinese New Year as well. So when we celebrate these sort of holidays together as a community. What else? The orientation. Okay, let's not forget the orientation program that you leaders, you know, lead and help. And that's pretty much the whole school event because we welcome all new students and we have our year 13s or other, you know, year group students leading it. Now, rules and safety in boarding. What are the rules? Do you remember them all, Ken?
Yeah, definitely. So for rules in boarding, in boarding house, that will be curfews, I guess. That's like a big part of it. So like you got different curfew time depends on your age. Like under 16, I think you could go out before 7:30 and in the weekends 8:30. And then over 16, you could go out for like till 9:30. Yeah, and then like if you're 18, you could go out as 10:30, which is like the whole boarding like curfew that you should be in your room. And then the rules are basically around your safety that like trying to protect you. And also our school is a nut-free school, so we can't bring any nuts inside, which is like because of some students that are really like allergic to it. I think the boarding rules are like supporting me as well, so I feel like know what time should I go out for dinner and then what time should like I come back. So make my daily routine really, really clear.
So breakfast, right? When is it cut off?
And we got like registration time to like keep you safe, so like the house parents know that you're safe and you're in school and then like nothing big happened. Also they could use this time to give you any like information that you need. Like we got 8:30 at morning and then before 6:30 at night, so that's like the two registration. And then also like I got caught for a few times of like being late in the morning and I got like those detentions. But I think it's good. It helped me to be like a more self-control person. So I will wake up early now in the morning and register at like 8:20 or something before the registration time. So I think
the hope is, Ken, when you leave Abbey College Cambridge or when you graduate, your timekeeping will be spotless, right? You'll be perfect.
Yeah, I actually improved a lot in my timekeeping. Like I used to go to prep late, as you know, Miss.
I know.
Yeah, and my timekeeping was really bad at first, but like now I'm a more organized person, I guess. Like throughout the year that I came here.
So tomorrow when I have that prep duty, you'll be on time,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yeah.
You'll surprise me.
Yeah.
Already.
I'm gonna be there at 7.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, a final question here is your experience of Cambridge. Okay, what it's like to study in Cambridge. What does it look like during the weekend? Do you go to Cambridge, to the city centre, or if you can share your experience, Charles? I know you live somewhere else outside of Cambridge.
So I live outside in the outskirts, but I used to live in Cambridge. And my experience in Cambridge is very welcoming. I love the nature. There's lots of green spaces around Cambridge. And also you also have the nature side, but also the urbanization side. And I love, personally for me, I love seeing all these designs around Cambridge, all these buildings, especially the historic sites, such as Trinity Hall. And it's just a mix of nature and also urbanization, and also Cambridge is very public transport and walkable and cyclable city. So when we used to live in Cambridge, me and my parents would always go out for a walk around Cambridge, and it's very nice and peaceful. And yeah, I think there's lots of things to do in Cambridge as well. With my friends, sometimes we occasionally go up to Cambridge and just hang out in the city centre.
Which is pretty safe.
Yeah,
right. So.
And city centre or the Temple Arcade over there. And I think there's also a lot of food variations in Cambridge. Cambridge is a very diverse place.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think you feel very home, like you're very home, because there's not a lot of places where you're not going to find your type of what you're looking for, because there is a place in Cambridge, and especially Mill Road is a very diverse.
That's my favorite road, yeah.
And yeah,
for dining, so
there's a lot of
it's really
spaces,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely different. As I said, very diverse restaurants and cuisines. And you mentioned that with your parents or friends, you cycled around Cambridge. But also, I'd like to mention that some year nines cycle to school every day. So it is safe for cyclists as well. Kish, what about you?
So I live outside of Cambridge, so I started only really coming to Cambridge when I joined Abbey. And one thing that I noticed is that everyone is very friendly. Like you can get along with a lot of people. It's very easy to speak to people, and also it's very vibrant, especially on the weekends when you go to the city centre. And I think it's a really good chance to make friends, especially if you've just arrived here and you don't really know people around. Because I think it's important to extend your circle beyond Abbey.
Yeah.
Because of networking connections, and it's very easy to do that in Cambridge. And also, Abbey is in a very good place because everything is quite accessible.
Yeah.
You have bus routes which take a few minutes. You have shops around here as well. So, yeah.
And a train station is 10-minute walk.
Yeah.
From us. So those who commute by train. London is 50 minutes by train, so that's easy as well.
Exactly. I travel by train every morning, so I walk from the train station to Cambridge. It's quite easy. It's 10-15 minutes. It's not too crowded either, which is good.
Yeah. Anita, what about you?
So I came to Cambridge like when I was 4 years old. So I've been living here for quite a while, and it's probably one of my favorite city in the UK. And I think it's such a great place to study in because the city itself isn't so busy and bustling that you feel kind of suffocated or intimidated when you first arrive. But it isn't so empty that you feel like there's nothing to do. It's like a good mix of everything, and I so enjoy living here. I mean, you can go on walks that I like to go on runs in Cambridge. I think it's very accessible. There's lots of routes, and there's a lot of like hidden areas that if you just walk a bit more, you'd find like really pretty green areas, and it's really, really nice. As well as that, as Kish said, meeting people is very easy, I think. I mean, I made friends from Hills Road and Long Road, the schools around just by walking and talking to people. It's a 20-minute or so walk down to the centre. I used to take the bus down, but I kind of just preferred walking because it's such a nice walk to go to the centre. And then when you get to the centre, there's so many shops, activities. There's also a marketplace as well. There's just so much to do. And as well as that, buses go everywhere. I mean, there's so many places you can travel to. And the fact that Abbey has, the train station 10 minutes away is so handy for students because students that come from other places going to England, having the train station means that they can easily explore other areas of England besides Cambridge as well. I think, just living here is so convenient. It's really, really good place.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, I think people who want to go running, there are beautiful routes around Cambridge, so they don't have to go far. They can run alongside the river, parks, or people who want to go just for walks. So a lot. So somebody coming from China to Cambridge.
Yeah.
What was your first impression, and how do you feel about Cambridge now after you spent a year and a half in Cambridge?
So when I first came to Cambridge, I still remember that I lived in the graduation hotel in city center.
Yes.
And like my first view of Cambridge, I think it's really like a culture. Yeah,
right?
hunting.
Because you had that garden there in that
Yeah,
particular
yeah,
hotel
yeah.
right next to the river.
And also it's like a really cultural city, I guess. It's mix of education and also new technology. And then like it's really historical as well. So I think it's really, really good. And also I feel like living in Cambridge is more closer like to nature as well. Like comparing with like I live in Beijing myself. Yeah, so like I think that's a quite big difference. And then like I could interact with natures. I could go out for a walk. And also after 1 year now, like when I first came to Cambridge, I felt like I got more. I think I discovered more about the city, and also I went out walking with my friends. I felt like there's like Cambridge is really nice. It's really convenient. There's quite a few like Chinese restaurants that are really good, and there's also like entertainment here that we could go to like cinema, which is like right across the street there, and then like good restaurants, I guess. Also, for Chinese people, like for us, we go Jamart like every single day, I guess, like buying like Chinese stuff. It's really convenient. It's like 3 minutes walk right across the road. And also we're really close to train station.
I actually need to walk into that supermarket because I pass it every day several times, and I also just see like what it is that people go and buy there. It looks intriguing, so I just need to go in.
Yeah, Chinese stuff. It's also really convenient because we live near to the bus station and also the train station as well. Because I have loads of friends in London and also Southampton or even further. But for me, I could just take a train, which is like 15 minutes. At the weekends, I could meet up with them. It's so convenient. They could come to find me as well. So I think it's really nice living in Cambridge. And also, yeah, one thing that I think borders parents they're really worried about is like the safety. Cambridge is like a really safety city I've ever been to. Like, I think it's like the top three safety cities. I could walk out by my own like at night outside and I won't be worried. It's like every people is like really friendly and really supportive and then it's really safe, I guess here.
I agree with you because when I go for my runs in the morning and especially in winter, it's still dark. And I run for an hour and nothing has ever happened to me, and I feel comfortable running through parks or alongside the river, city centre. It's a very safe place. So thank you very much. Now let's see whether we have any questions.
Yes, thank you very much, everyone. Hopefully people can hear me. If anyone does have any questions for the panel, for the students and Ellen, please do post them in the chat or via the Q&A, and we'll do our best to put them to the team. We did have a few questions that came through. Hopefully we've answered lots of questions as well, but we did have a question just asking about the mobile phone policy, and obviously there's been some changes in there. So Ellen, if you can just give us a bit of an update on kind of the mobile phone policy and obviously the changes and obviously for students.
Why don't we ask our students whether they understand our mobile phone policy? Ken, what is the mobile phone policy? And let's split it because then we have Charles and Ken, so they are year 9, year 10. What is the mobile phone policy for you? Is it a little bit different one?
So like for me, I believe year 9, year 10, year 11, they're not allowed to use their phone in like school days. So like we need to hand them in.
In the morning.
Yeah, in the morning, like when you register with your house parents. But you were totally free after school. Like you could use your phone in your boarding house. You could go out. You're like totally free. As I said, like Abbey College Cambridge is like a really free and safe like community, I guess. Yeah. So for us, it's only from 8:30 to 3:50 that like we need to hang our phone in. But it doesn't really like make a difference for me because I usually use my like computer as well, so I won't really use my phone. And then we also don't have any free periods because I study like 9 subjects. So yeah, it doesn't really make a difference to me. Like after school, I could still use it. During school time, I just like focus on my education and also interactions with my friends. So yeah, it's quite good for me, I guess. It helped me to control myself as well.
Absolutely. And what does it look like for sixth formers, so year 12 and year 13 students?
So for us, it's a little bit different. So it's more trust-based. So from 9 to 4, which is like the whole school day, you're supposed to keep your phone in your bag and away. So it shouldn't be seen and it shouldn't be used. I actually really like the rule because a lot of times when I'm studying beforehand, my phone would be on the table and then I turn it over and then I just go on social media. So now when you have, you hold yourself accountable and you say like, I mean, it is like a school and government rule to not have your phone out. You don't use it, you focus better. And also during like break time and lunchtime, you communicate with your friends more and you have more interesting conversations rather than just being on your phone.
Yes, absolutely. How has it worked for you, Fish?
It didn't really make a difference to me, to be honest, because I speak to so many people every day, and I really socialize, so I don't really think about my phone when I'm here. But I'd say it definitely has helped me in the sense that, like, even because of the fact that I've been so withdrawn from my phone in the day, it started to get to that point where even when I get home, I don't feel like going on my phone that much because I've just got used to it. So I think it's built a very healthy habit, and also it's very good for discipline as well.
Absolutely. So I think that's what we are trying to do. We've pretty much done 2 stages of mobile phone policy here. The first was where we just focus on year 9s, 10s, and 11s. This is very important. The development of your brain and so on, and social interactions. We wanted to make sure that you talk to each other. And then we had the ban in the dining hall and the corridor leading to it, and lessons, of course. But now, I think just to make it easier for everybody, there's pretty much ban from 9 to 4 for everybody.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. We had another question just asking, I guess, obviously our main enrolment point is September, but they're asking about kind of the difference between the 2-year A-level course and the 18-month A-level course, both in terms of the content and the intensity of the studies. So we can give a bit of an overview. So
maybe Anita and Kish, you can comment on it. I know that you are on a 2-year course, both of you. However, you know people who are on 18 months A-level course.
Yeah, so for 18 months, it's the same content. However, it's a little bit faster. So for A-level, because you get, the extra few months, it's a little bit more relaxed. However, it's the exact same course, exact same content. And then after this so in the second year, the 18-month students, they merge with the A-level students. So 18-month students will end up doing A-level stuff as well. It's just, it's a bit more to catch up on, but it's the same thing in the end.
Yeah, exactly, in year 30.
Excellent.
Is there anything to add?
The only thing I'd say is that my friends who are doing the 18-month course would say that workload is higher when it's the 18-month, because obviously you're going through everything much faster. So
exactly,
more frequent homework, it's more to catch up on.
Yeah, because especially in year 12, you are doing it in 3 months across 3 terms, but they are doing it across 2 terms. So everything is more intense. But as Anita said, once they get into year 13, they're caught up. You are at the same level, and then you can merge classes there. And it's a bit slower, so you can encourage them that the workload will be a bit less when they get to year 13.
Excellent. Well, I don't think we've had any questions coming through. I think we've answered all the questions that we had very pre-webinar. So I think all that's left is let you guys say goodbye and we'll sign off. So
thank you very much.
Thank you.